Damn, Joe. What a night for boxing. What a night for boxing. Man, where do I start, man? I'm going to start with I want some money tonight. I want some money tonight, y'all. I want some money both ways. Tim Tszyu money line. Y'all know Tim Tszyu is going to win the fight. And respect to Brian Mendoza's chin, man. I knew that man could go the distance. You know what I'm saying? No surprises with what I thought was going to happen tonight. We're going to get into all the details of all the fights tonight. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Davis fought Albright today. I thought Keyshawn Davis could have put the pedal to the metal a little bit better. He did win the fight convincingly. I thought the judges had it a little more closer than they should have. We did that too. But I definitely want to start with the Tim Tszyu versus Brian Mendoza fight, man. That fight, you know what I'm saying? Um, Not gonna say it was a fight of the year candidate, but it was a hell of a fucking fight. It was a hell of a fight. I'm telling y'all. Um, I knew Brian Mendoza had a lot of heart when I first seen him against Sebastian Fedora, and he knocked him out. I'm just like, this guy has a lot of heart. He has a lot of will to win. You could tell that he was really proud of himself to get to where he got to, and he didn't go to Australia to lay down. He didn't go to Australia to get knocked out. He didn't go to Australia to lay down. He definitely thought he could win the fight, and he actually had Tim Tszyu uncomfortable in the early rounds. And I thought Mendoza was doing really well in the early rounds. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought Mendoza did real well. Um, and Mendoza is here to stay, man. I think we'll see him in the near future, man. He's got one of the best chins, 154-pound division for sure. I mean, he took some real significant blows from Tim Tszyu. Uh, as for Tim Tszyu, my bad, y'all. As for Tim Tszyu, there was a lot I didn't like about Tim Tszyu. I don't like how he doesn't use his jab, man. Like, it's gonna come to a point. I think at some point in his career where he's gonna have to use his jab a little bit more, and against an elite fighter, and it's gonna cost him. I like Brian Mendoza, but you know what I'm saying. Tim Tszyu's power clearly got to Mendoza, and he was landing at will against Mendoza in the later rounds. Uh, I didn't think Mendoza. I don't think he won a round after round 8. It got real ugly for Mendoza. So you know what I'm saying. Uh, Mendoza, man, I'm surprised the referee didn't stop the fight in the 11th round, because in the 11th round it looked like Tim Tszyu had uh, Mendoza seriously hurt, and he almost was getting hit at will. He couldn't even, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I would have stopped the fight in the 11th round. Like, if I was a referee in that 11th round, with the punishment that I had saw Mendoza taking, I get he has a great chin, but I just want to see fighters live another day, so I would have stopped the fight personally. I didn't think Mendoza had much of a chance to win, and clearly on the scorecards, as you see, he didn't have much of a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu, I think he showed that he's got a lot to tweak on. He's not a perfect fighter by any stretch, but he's definitely elite at 154. Like, when people say he's not elite, like, is he pound for pound? No. But is he elite in his weight class? I mean, yeah. Like, how many 154 pounders are there? Like, you got TC, you got Terrence Crawford, if he moves up to 154, and Spencer moves up to 154, and Charlo, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zoo's right there in the top 5 for sure. So Tim Tszyu is a force to be reckoned with. He said he wants to fight in Las Vegas going forward. He doesn't want to fight in Australia no more. That's going to be his last time fighting in Australia. Um, that'll be good. I'd like to see Tim Tszyu fight in the United States. That'll be good for his career. Maybe get him more exposure and set up bigger fights for him in the United States. So, you know, that's a smart business move on Tim Tszyu. like that. Um, and I just think that you know what I'm saying. This fight was, without question, this Brian Mendoza versus Tim Tszyu fight tonight was better than the Canelo Alvarez. This Tim Tszyu versus Brian Mendoza fight was better than Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo. Let's be honest. That fight was despicable. This fight tonight was competitive in the early rounds. Mendoza was fighting to win. He was fighting back, even though he was getting hit with some tremendous punches. I mean, that's the type of boxing that you want to see. I'll even take it a step further. I think Mendoza would beat Charlo. Like, Mendoza's got a lot of heart, man. Like, I could see him beating Charlo for sure. Charlo's just not that good to me. At any stretch, my bad, y'all. I'm fresh off work. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, hold on, real quick, y'all. Real quick. I gotta mess up the stream just for a brief second. And we is back, y'all. My bad for the technical difficulties. Stop at the bank. You feel me? Motherfuckers got to do real shit. But back to the Brian Mendoza versus Tim Tszyu fight, man. We really got to break this fight down, how this shit went. Because to me, this was one of the better fights of the year. Even though it was rather one-sided in the second half of the fight. Um, I just got a lot of respect for. I got a lot of respect for Brian Mendoza, man. I got a lot of respect for him, man. Truly. I think Brian Mendoza's a hell of a fighter. And I can't wait to see what he's gonna do next in his career. You know what I'm saying? That was to go all the way to Australia. My bad, y'all. The bank just tweaked on me, man. Fuck. I ain't never seen that shit happen before. Brian Mendoza got a chin, y'all. If I ain't said it already, man. Brian Mendoza got a straight chin. That boy went all the way to Australia and did not get knocked out by Tim Tszyu. Like, y'all gotta give that man credit, man. Like, for real. Like, Brian Mendoza is here to stay, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a fight, though, man. Like, Tim Tszyu, if he can work on that jab, he's never gonna be he's never gonna be the fastest puncher in the world. You know what I'm saying? We know that he's not the fastest guy in the world, Tim Tszyu. But if he could just work on that jab and set it up, I think that he'll be fine going forward. You know what I'm saying? I think he's fine against Charlo and guys like that because those are fighters that don't even have great jabs themselves. And I think fighters where he can brawl against, he has a great chance against. Because Tim Tszyu got a lot of power and he's a hell of a fighter. I'm trying to tell y'all, a lot of people, a lot of channels like to discredit Tszyu. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's European or whatever. But on this channel, we keep it funky. And Tim Tszyu is a hell of a fighter. I'm sure there's 154 pounders that'll give him some go. You know what I'm saying? He definitely not ready for no Terrence Crawford or nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely levels, but I'm telling y'all, this boy is here. He is here to stay. And we got to get into the Top Rank show. You know what I'm saying? The Top Rank had a show just before the Tim Tszyu show. Keyshawn Davis got to fight the boy from Centerville, New Jersey, Albright, and Albright won the last couple of rounds. You know, Keyshawn really dominated the first 7 to 8 rounds. I thought that Keyshawn, sometimes I feel like you got to try to get fighters out of there. You know, Keyshawn likes to box. Keyshawn's not a puncher. He's not. I wouldn't call him a puncher. You know what I'm saying? He likes to box, and he was displaying some nice boxing skills in there. But at the end of the fight, they asked him about the last 2 rounds that he gave up, and he said a win is a win. And like I just feel like I feel like he was actually trying. I feel like he didn't give those rounds up on purpose. I feel like he was just giving those rounds up. Like he kind of let up the pressure, and he got comfortable. And I don't know, man. I just feel like Keyshawn Davis needs to humble up because at 9-0, he seems to be real cocky. Maybe he's seeing some good money early, but like, man, bro, I mean, I don't know how great he is yet. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a hell of a fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I don't know how great he is yet, though. Is he elite? You know what I mean? I don't know yet. So I got a lot to see from Keyshawn, but I thought that was a good win from him today against a athletic fighter, tough fighter, game fighter in Albright, who clearly came in there to do more than just survive. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see Keyshawn get a step in competition. And in the main event on Top Rank, we had Yana Beck against Gultatari or something like that. And honestly, a lot of people, to me, overhype Yana Beck. I think Yana Beck is a good fighter as well. I think he's got a lot of power, and he's a force to be reckoned with. But I just haven't been totally impressed with Yana Beck since I've watched him. I watched him tonight. I saw him get the stoppage in round 6, but I just wasn't overly impressed with his overall performance before the knockout. I think he's slow. He's got a lot of power, but I think he sits on his punches a lot, and I'm just not a huge fan of Yana Beck, man. I think that the right guy could beat him for sure. A couple guys out there that could beat Yana Beck, and he's really boring. And I think the fact that Yana Beck is really boring is what made me not really super interested in the Top Rank show tonight. Between you know what I'm saying, Yana Beck and Gutari. I mean, I just thought that wasn't that great of a main event. I was more interested in the Keyshawn versus Albright co-main event. But Tim Tszyu Mendoza definitely was a firework fight. Definitely exceeded expectations. I was very happy to say I watched that fight. Um, and to me, you know what I'm saying, you gotta say that Tim Tszyu. I mean, what's he gonna do next? What is Tim Tszyu gonna do next? Now that's the question we gotta really ask. What is Tim Tszyu gonna do next? Because to me, he said he want to unify all the belts at 154. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do that. I don't know if Tim Tszyu is gonna be able to unify all the belts at 154. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have somebody get in his way before that happens. I believe, truthfully. I'm gonna have to make this run at the gas station and stop the video real quick again, y'all. We gonna get into some more topics. There's a lot to get into. You know, we saw Bomac at the Top Rank show. He was talking. He was there for Keyshawn. You know, he's finally out. I'm happy for Bomac. You know what I'm saying? Good things do happen. Um, but yeah, good things do happen though, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. But Keyshawn Davis, his performance tonight, I gave it a B. I didn't give it a B plus. I didn't give it an A. I gave it a B. Thought he had a good performance. He upped this competition. Yeah, man, what the hell they closing? Oh, yeah, they open. They just tweaking. That's the G shit though. Let me get 5 on. Yeah. The red card. I think that's 5. Yeah. Yeah. That's pump 6. Pump 6. Man, they got me tweaking. What up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Tim Zoo, trying to tell y'all. Ready for anybody. Keyshawn need to go back to the lab before he start calling out big names. I think he could beat Adam Azim though. You know what I'm saying? I would pick Keyshawn Davis over Adam Azim. I think that would be a good fight. Don't get it twisted, but I'll take Keyshawn in that one. Um, I don't know if Keyshawn ready for Frank. Don't get me wrong. I like Keyshawn more than I like Frank. I don't really like Frank Martin after what he pulled with the Shakur Stevenson move. That was a weak move. It clearly told me you're not ready for Shakur, but you ready for Keyshawn. I guarantee y'all, Keyshawn fought, tried to fight Frank Martin. Uh, Frank could do it, but since it's Shakur Stevenson, he want to try to get all the top dollar. He's scared. You know what I'm saying? People gonna say whatever. People gonna say whatever, man, to make it sound good. At the end of the day, but November we got some boxing, boys. I'm trying to tell y'all, we got some boxing in November. We got Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos. And I think Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos is going to be one of the better fights of 2023. I've been telling people Edwin De Los Santos has been talking a lot of smack. He need to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to be able to back up all the smack that he's been able to talk up to Shakur Stevenson pulling up in Newark, New Jersey? I'm in your hood, Shakur, pulling up in the downtown area. We're going to see what this man is made of, because I'm going to tell y'all, Shakur Stevenson, one thing about him is I think he fight with a chip on his shoulder. And I think we're going to see the best Shakur Stevenson displayed. Then he's going to try to put a hurting on Edwin De Los Santos. And I think by round 3, 4, y'all going to see Edwin De Los Santos moving backwards. And the only thing we're going to be wondering is, how is Edwin De Los Santos moving backwards if Shakur Stevenson ain't got no power? And we're going to have to conclude that Shakur got all the power in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's a top rank show. We also gonna see Emmanuel Navarrete probably knock out Robinson or stop Robinson Canseco in that. I see him stopping Robinson Canseco. or dominating him. And I know what people gonna say after Emmanuel Navarrete stopped Robinson Canseco. Oh, well, Shakur ain't stopped Robinson Canseco. I don't care. Styles make fights. Shakur still beat Emmanuel Navarrete. It's about styles. Y'all gotta know that. It's all about styles in boxing. That's how I go. And that leads me to my boo-boo versus Benavidez fight. And by the way, Subriel Matias just got announced that he is going to be on the undercard of Subriel Matias is going to be on the undercard of the Demetrius Andre versus David Benavidez fight. He'll be defending his IBF title. That is a great undercard fight for the Demetrius Boo Boo Andre versus David Benavidez. Subriel Matias killed someone in the ring. 19-1, 19 knockouts. The one guy he lost to, he beat him in a rematch in dominating fashion. So he's basically undefeated. So we got a stacked card on November 25th with David Benavidez, Demetrius Andre. Can't wait for that fucking show. It'll be a hell of a show. I'm telling y'all, Boo Boo's gonna give David Benavidez the hardest fight of his career, man. Like, I don't know what people think. I don't know why everyone's believing in this hype that David Benavidez is gonna stop Demetrius Andre in 8 rounds or less. But people need to get that out their minds, man. Not everything ends in a knockout. And Demetrius Andre is not going out without a fight. And I don't think he gets stopped in 8 rounds. That's crazy. It's a crazy prediction in my opinion. If Andre gets stopped in 8 rounds, we might have to be talking about Andre being a shot fighter. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Benavidez has what it takes to stop him. We'll see. I could be wrong. Benavidez looks like a much bigger guy in the ring. I mean, in the press conference. But as you guys know, size doesn't mean anything. So I give Demetrius Andre a great chance to win that fight. He's got to use that ring. He's really got to use that ring. Caleb Plant got real tired. I think Demetrius has better stamina than Caleb Plant. A lot of people try to tell me Caleb Plant is a better fighter than Demetrius Boo Boo Andre because he has a better resume as a pro. Knocking out Anthony Jarrell does not make you better than Demetrius Andre. People have to understand that. You can't give me one win other than Anthony Jarrell that's super great. Even the fight where Plant, you know what I'm saying? Plant beat some kid for the title. That was not that good. Was it Guido Schwam or something like that? I forget what his name is. Whoever he beat, not that good. So, Demetrius Andre is going to give David Benavidez the biggest problems of his career. I think his dad and them credit, but it's like fake credit because I ain't going to get a man credit in the same breath. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stop him in 8 rounds. How disrespectful can you be? I just don't think a guy like Demetrius Andre, who's been training for a moment like this for his whole career, is getting stopped in 8 rounds, man. He's 36 years old, but he's a fresh 36. You got to think. He hasn't really taken any punishment in his career. But at the same time, a lot of people have been asking me, what about him getting wobbled by Demond Nicholson? And Demond can punch, but that does worry me. That worries me because Demond Nicholson is a known journeyman. Everyone knows Demond Nicholson is not a true test. You know what I'm saying? He can punch a little bit, but Demetrius Andre was supposed to stop Demond Nicholson. Demond Nicholson is tough, so you got to know personnel. I honestly think that this is one of the better fights of the fall so far. Obviously, the summer's over. We're on to the fall of boxing. And this was definitely a better fight than the Canelo Charlo fight. This fight was back and forth. Both men were trying. I never once saw Mendoza give up or not try to win the fight. He felt Tim Tszyu's power, but he continued to try to win the fight. And he got hit with some tremendous shots. Fight of the year candidate, in my opinion. Maybe not the fight of the year, but definitely up there. Well, I asked him. Lack of skill. When you talk about jabs and beautiful footwork and stuff of that magnitude. But from an excitement standpoint, it was amazing. There's a lot of fights out there that I want to see happen. Y'all know Gervonta Davis out there still making excuses, talking about the lawyer making him train in Maryland. Ain't that where he from? It's like, cut the excuses, bro. And then what you trying to train for? You fighting Pitbull Cruz in a rematch, based on what we reading. That's what you giving us. That's what Tank gonna give us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even want to hate on Tank, but you gonna fight a rematch with Pitbull Cruz, where everybody know you just beat Ryan Garcia. You're supposed to take a step up. You're supposed to take that next step of greatness. You the face. You're not not no regular person. And instead you want to fight Pitbull Cruz, man. It just tells you what I think. This is why I'm not a Gervonta Davis fan, y'all. All his fans too. They the biggest hypocrites. They always calling out these other fighters and how they don't do this and that. But when it comes to Tank, he really don't fight these guys, man. He really cherry picks his opponent. He has the most overrated resume in boxing. And if he fights Pitbull Cruz, I will lose total respect for him. Because there's at least 10 fights out there. There's at least 3 fights out, at least 5 fighters I'd rather see than the Pitbull rematch. Gervonta Davis could fight. Gervonta Davis could fight Shakur Stevenson, which would be the best fight in boxing today. 2 elite fighters in their primes. He could fight Devin Haney, the imposter, which would be a great fight. He could fight Teofimo Lopez, which would be, from a stylistic standpoint, a very interesting fight. I'd love to see that fight. I'd love to see Teofimo Lopez for Gervonta Davis. I think that's a fight that Gervonta Davis could lose. I think Gervonta Davis could also fight guys like Edwin De Los Santos, Sabril Matias. He could fight. Those are 140 pounders, but well, not Edwin, but Matias is. But I think Tank could fight 140 pounders. I really do. I think he'd be comfortable at 140, even though he hasn't fought it that way. But in 135, there's still plenty of guys he can fight, other than Pitbull Cruz, man. For crying out loud, I'd rather damn near see the Rolly Romero rematch before I'd rather see Pitbull Cruz, because at least Rolly Romero has. Pitbull Cruz cannot win that fight against Gervonta Davis, and people need to understand that. Pitbull is very limited. What I saw from him in his last fight, he only has one thing up his sleeve, and that's that right hand, an overhand right, and he just tries to come forward and stalk you with pressure. But if you got skill, you'll overpower Cruz with skill. Tank is too good for him, so I don't want to see that. I want to see that midget man get beat by someone who I know could beat him, Shakur Stevenson. Hey man, y'all tune in to Greatness November 25th, because there's gonna be some great boxing from Shakur Stevenson. Show people why he's the best 135-pound fighter in the world right now. To me, he really is. People say it's Tank. I think that's cap. You know what I mean? The Tank fans gonna say what they say. Man. Also, we gotta talk about that crappy ass Logan Paul fight in the KSI. Versus Tommy Fury. Now, you know, I don't usually talk about them corny shows, because I have real boxing to talk about all the time. But the Logan Paul fight was funny to me. You know, he was fighting this cornball named Dylan Dennis. So, you know, I was chilling for Logan Paul, because at the end of the day, Logan Paul and Jake Paul, even though they clowns, they YouTubers, I don't really mess with them. They do take boxing seriously. You know, they really respect the game of boxing. They don't play around with it. They don't disrespect it by calling it names, like Dylan Dennis did. And they come out and take it serious. And I thought Logan went out there. I think he landed 92 punches. He had a brilliant, dominating performance. Made Dylan Dennis like the clown that he is. I think Dylan Dennis landed nine punches in 6 rounds. Dude, like straight goofy. Dude was a straight goofy out there. I'm happy Logan did that to him. And then the main event, KSI and Tommy Fury. I don't like Tommy Fury. You know what I'm saying? He think he cool because he beat Jake Paul. He a clown. Dude, you've been professional boxing your whole life. You've been professional boxing for 20 years, living under Tyson Fury's shadow, and you trash. You a professional boxer and you trash. Fighting all these YouTubers, then they damn near beating you. Jake Paul dropped you. KSI beat you, but they robbed him. KSI won tonight, but they robbed him. They gave it to that clown Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was talking about he was going to fight real boxers, blah, blah, blah. He 10-0. And then he talking about he'll fight Jake Paul again. Dude is a clown. He don't know what he want to do. He can't fight, so it don't matter. And yeah, that's really what happened tonight. That's the recap of all the fights tonight. Brian Mendoza earned my respect tonight. Tim Tszyu is a beast. He is a beast from Australia. That dude is a force, man. I am almost at the crib, y'all. Almost, I say. I really hope y'all can hear my quality. I don't really know how the quality is in my car, but I'm pretty sure it is pretty good. But man, I wonder if Tim Tszyu broke Brian Mendoza's nose or something, because Mendoza was standing right there. He's tough as hell. All right, y'all, we gonna chop it up probably tomorrow evening after the football games around 6 p.m. I'll be on here to chop it up with y'all. There's a lot to talk about. I want to see what Tim Tszyu is gonna say. He probably, after he celebrates his win tonight, he probably have more to say tomorrow. And boxing is getting better and better, y'all. I'm heading out, y'all. Peace.